Here are 3 Canadian stocks that could make you a whole lot of money over the next 12 months. I'm gonna give you everything you need to know. Here we go. Okay, 3 Canadian stocks to watch. These are Drone Delivery Canada, Mind Medicine, and Very Good Butchers. These are the 3 that I'm going to focus on, and we're going to go through why I like them, the stock charts, the financials, and a quick summary about that company so we can wrap it all really nice. Okay, so the first company we're going to look at here is Drone Delivery Canada. But first of all, if you're new here, my name is Zach Hartley, and my only goal is to help you make more money in the stock market by giving you free content to improve your trading. So if you get any value out of this video, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. I sincerely appreciate it. Now, Drone Delivery Canada is a really unique company. They deliver products by drone. Most of the time, it is high value items. So blood, organs, high value electronics, or certain pieces that need to go to remote locations that can be accessed by drone. That's what this company specializes in. Now, the nice thing about these guys is they already have a little bit of revenue and they already have paying customers, but the big key here is they are developing the infrastructure and the technology to make drone delivery accessible and possible to companies and businesses around the world. Now everybody knows that Amazon is working on a drone delivery program, but the problem is if you're not Amazon, you're not going to have access to it. So if you want to deliver your product that's like pizza downtown Calgary to somebody's high-rise apartment, you may be able to use a company like this in the future, or at least that's an example of why this company could be valuable in the future. So let's get into the chart here. As you can see, the chart does not look very pretty. They're on a very clear bearish trajectory right now. I've drawn this red trend line here that you can see. It connects a couple of the dots, and as you can see, it is headed downwards. This company had a high of around $2.30, currently trading at 64 cents. However, we do have some pretty steady support here at the 50-60 cent level, so I really like that. And what I am predicting is this is going to continue to trend down until we hit that 50-60 support line, and it is either going to break through or it is going to break above that trend line. And if it breaks above, that is when I want to be a buyer of this stock. So let's get into the financials for this company. They have a $125 million market cap. In other words, that's what the company's worth. They only have $26,000 in revenue, and that was generated over the last 2 quarters. Now, 2 quarters ago, it was only like $2,000. Last quarter, it was about $24,000. So it is not much revenue at all, especially when you compare it to the market cap. However, this is not a company that is going to generate a bunch of revenue on their deliveries. They're probably going to license out the technology, the equipment, and the systems that they're currently developing. So this business model is likely to change over the next little while, and that's why the revenue compared to the market cap right now isn't super important. The more important thing is, can they build the system, the technology, and the infrastructure to actually execute on drone deliveries? That is going to be the key here for this company. Now, they do have $7 million cash in the bank, and they have $1.6 million in liabilities. So they have a really good current ratio. I think my math is off a little bit in this slide. However, it does look really good, and there's no risk of this company going out of business or running out of cash anytime soon. So I really like that, and I'm comfortable with that. In summary, drone delivery will become more common over time. If you are not Amazon, you may want access to drone delivery technology, and this is going to be the company that you're probably going to at least look at, if not go to. Now, I do think they're well positioned to take advantage of that, and they do have a good balance sheet to get them through. The other thing that I really like about this company is instead of working on just one vehicle to deliver a package this big and focus on small parcel, what they're doing is they are focusing on multiple vehicles. They have 4 or 5 different vehicles that are different sizes, can carry different weights, and can go different ranges so that they can offer a solution for every different type of problem and application. And that's really nice. I think that's really thinking ahead, and I think they've done a good job at developing that strategy over the long term. Now, the next company that I want to talk about is Mind Medicine. So they say that they do psychedelic inspired medicines. And basically what they're doing is they're taking street drugs like LSD, MDMA, DMT. They're isolating the certain molecules and compounds in there, and then they're trying to form that into a legal prescribable drug that has gone through all of the FDA processes, gone through all the testing and regulatory steps, and is basically taking the active ingredients in the street level drugs and turning it into a pill or a drug that you can ingest and get prescribed by a doctor to treat things like anxiety, depression, insomnia, all these different ailments. And it's a really, really unique topic because these drugs have never been tested before. And so MindMed and a couple other companies are the first ones that are going to be able to do this. Now, this is different than cannabis. The reason it's different than cannabis is because the end result here is not to create a recreational item. The goal of cannabis was to let everybody recreationally smoke pot. That is not the goal with MindMed. The goal here is to develop a tested and proven medicine that can be prescribed by your doctor to treat specific ailments. It is not to be used or consumed recreationally. Now, the company is based in Vancouver, and one thing that's pretty unique is for such a small company, they actually just applied to the NASDAQ exchange. So big step for them, and it shows that you know they're serious. Now, the cool thing here is I pulled this screenshot off of their website. On the left-hand side, you can see they have a couple of drugs here that are currently in phase 2 and 2B for testing of LSD. They also have drugs that focus on MDMA and DMT. These are currently in the phase 1A trials. So really unique. They not only have one drug, but they're actually testing about 6 right now and trying to put them through the process. And they also have the runway so that if, let's say, drug 1 doesn't work, they have 4 or 5 more in the pipeline and they have plenty of cash to get them through. So that's something I really like about this company. Now, the stock chart is really interesting. So here's the chart, here's what we're looking at. As you can see, they had a high here. They traded super high for about 2 days where they were up to about $1. It came crashing back down, and since then it's basically traded in a channel all the way across. Now, it has very clear support here at about the 30-cent level, and over the last 2 days it's had a major breakout. So as you can see, we've got some pretty clear support here at the 30-cent level. However, over the last 3 days, we've had a pretty major breakout compared to the last sort of 2 months. We had 2 big days. Today was a bit of a red day. We fell about 5-6 cents. However, we're still above the high that was set in August, and we are now testing the high that was set in May. If we see a continued breakout, I really like it, and I'm actually going to buy some shares in it today because I think this is the beginning of a breakout, and I do think they're close to seeing some approvals on some of these drugs. They did go as high as $1, and they are in phase 3 approvals on some drugs, so I really like this company right now. The financials on it also look great. They have a $139 million market cap. They don't have any revenue right now because they are currently creating the drugs and trying to get them to market. However, they have $24 million of cash in the bank and they only have $2 million in liabilities. So like I said, plenty of runway, plenty of cash in the bank. If drug 1 doesn't work, they got 2, 3, 4, and they got plenty of cash to get them there. The current ratio is sitting great, so no issues with this company running out of money at this point. Now, in summary, these drugs have never been legally tested and controlled. I think that's actually the strategic factor here is nobody's run these tests before. And so MindMed, as well as a couple other companies, are sort of being first to market. And if they can really pull this off, it could be a game changer for what is available on the market. Now, MindMed is one of the first. There are a couple other companies experimenting in this space. However, MindMed has brought in the biggest investors and probably has the biggest name right now. What I mean by that is Bruce Linton, the old CEO and founder and chairman of Canopy Growth Corporation, the cannabis company here in Canada, as well as Kevin O'Leary, the shark from Shark Tank in Canada and the United States. They're both major investors in MindMed, and so I think that's probably a good sign. 2 guys that have done their due diligence and both like the space and have actually put their money where their mouth is. So I like that. They have a great strong cash position, but this company is going to take time. It will not skyrocket overnight. If one drug fails, it's going to take another couple months. However, when they get it and they nail the process and things really work out, I think this company has a huge opportunity because the market for what they're trying to treat, depression and anxieties particularly, is just absolutely massive. So I think there's a great opportunity for it. Okay, so the last company we're going to talk about is Very Good Butchers. Now, they're a bean-based meat alternative company, meaning that they basically make things like the same as Beyond Meat and Impossible Burger. However, instead of using 500 different ingredients, they actually basically use only a couple ingredients, and the main one is beans or soybeans, different types of beans that they will use and then form into different meat products. Now, they're based in Victoria and they have a brand new facility opening in Vancouver over the next couple months to year, and they have exponential revenue growth. I will show you what I mean by that here shortly. But the big thing here is the whole vegan meat industry or alternative meat industry is growing exponentially, and these guys are very, very well positioned to take full advantage of it. They also recently IPO'd in June, so they're a very young company. They're very new. You won't be able to find a ton of information on them. However, if you do the digging, you should be able to find what you need. So if you look at the stock chart here, you can see they IPO'd around 30 or 40 cents. I forget exactly what it was. They skyrocketed up to $2 and then sank back down to about $1, $1.20. And since then, they've been hovering in this channel here from about July all the way to today, September. And so what I am expecting here is they could come all the way down. They could test this $1.20, $1.30 mark again. But on the breakout here above this $2 mark, that is where I am going to be a buyer of Very Good Butchers. And so I'm super interested interested in the company because I like the model, I like the industry, they have great revenue growth, the stock chart looks not too bad. If they can break above 2, I think that's a very clear breakout strategy and a breakout trend, and I definitely want to be a buyer of it. And the financials look good as well. So they have a $113 million market cap. However, the revenue, let's get into this. So 3 quarters ago, they did 220,000. 2 quarters ago, they did 338,000. And last quarter, they did 1.1 million. So in the last 3 quarters, they've done over 1.5 million, and 1 million of that came in the last quarter alone. So they have $3.5 million cash in the bank. They have $3.7 million in liabilities, probably because they're growing exponentially fast and they just went all in on a facility in Vancouver. So I know they spent a ton of money forking out and hiring people for that. So I'm not too worried about the cash in the bank and the liabilities right now because they IPO'd. And so if they ever needed to raise more money, it would not be very difficult, especially with how many people want to get into this industry right now. So in summary, just a couple things I want to cover is this industry is growing rapidly, so I really like the company. They've had 3 times revenue growth quarter over quarter. You will not see that very often. You will see that very, very rarely. But when a company goes from 300,000 to 1 million in 1 quarter, you know something's up, and that is why I'm super interested in this company. Their product is also different than competitors. There's a lot of companies coming out trying to basically make lab-grown burgers, and that is not what these guys are about. They are taking natural ingredients. They are taking beans and flavorings and natural products and just reconfiguring them into different shapes to make you feel like you're still getting that beef or chicken burger, whatever it is. The last thing I want to point out is they're a good and reasonable company. This is not some nickel and motor sham. What's really cool about this is if you go to Yahoo Finance, you can actually look up the key executives and see exactly how much they're paying themselves. So the 2 co-founders here make $50,000 and $43,000 a year, and the CFO, who's actually much, much older than them and is a professional who's come in later, actually makes $85,000 a year. All of these salaries seem extremely reasonable to me, and I think they're doing a really good job. So I like the company long term. I'm going to buy it on the breakout at 2. And I think it's a really good opportunity. I'm also going to be buying MindMed right away. And I really like the drone delivery company if we can break through that red trend line that I drew and establish a new bullish trajectory. So that's everything that I've got. If you got any value out of this video, please consider liking and subscribing. My only goal is to help you make more money, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.